Good afternoon, Printhoundar, Croizo. Welcome to the channel. It is, of course, me, Farmer Ben Adui. I am here on the game once again for a raid tournament. Now, forgive me if you hear background noise and wind and what have you. I am out and about. I should have said Noswaithar and good evening, really, because it's quite late. And my parents have gone to bed, so I need to keep the volume down. So I've gone outside, etc., etc. Some people are like, "You loser, you live in your parents' basement," and I'm like, "No, I'm a loser who lives in my parents' attic." Thank you very much. Anyway, so let's crack on. Let's see what we're up against here. We have got tournament. Let's see. Yeah, just stick with the team I've got. Okay, 3 greens. I don't know what the dog fella does. I don't think any of these guys are necessarily healers. I don't necessarily know them all that well. Pew, 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 pew. The Rock Band event is on. I haven't actually done any of the Rock Band event. I think the last one I didn't do anything at all. So I should probably try and at least complete it this time round. At least so I can do the end screen and do like the story of the Rock Band. As I recall, it wasn't a particularly exciting event. I didn't sort of go, "Oh yay, Rock Band, woo!" when I saw it coming up again. So that's not good. So lots of killings are going on. There, that's better. That's what I was looking for. Let's see if we can. I don't need to reactivate Blunderbuss yet. Hopefully, the damage done by my 2 Emmas will largely finish things off. Yeah, they did a reasonable job. I'll hand it to them. Let's see. Can I only really need 1 or 2 tiles to connect, and the whole thing will sort of come unravelled now. Hopefully, except none of the tiles are connected, so that's not good. That's not good at all. That sucks. Okay, let's try this. Pew! Boom. Not liking the boards at the minute. It's one of those ones where I should win. I should be guaranteed a win, but that was quite close. That was closer than I would have liked, but there we are. Beat them, 1981, same year I was born. There we are, in true fact. Another team there with Blue Tank. Don't know who this fellow is in the middle at all. I know there's the magician who's called like Mysterio. This is Brutus. Et tu, Brute. 460 damage to the target. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Harpoon Fiend for the target. Yeah, I'm not liking him. He looks mean. Yes, obviously Brutus, one of the assassins who killed Caesar. Yeah, they are a bit of classical history. One of 50-odd senators who stabbed Caesar in. Well, it was actually everybody says it was in the Senate, but it actually occurred in Pompey's Theatre in Rome. For some reason, I can't remember the reason why it was at Pompey's Theatre and not the Senate. It was something to do with the Senate being renovated or something random like that. Yeah, and it's all it led to the second sort of big civil war. It led to the creation of the Roman Empire, with Augustus seizing the throne as Caesar's heir, and all these sorts of things. It was a fascinating time of history, and that was Brutus was very much involved. He himself was defeated and killed at another battle against Octavian and Mark Antony, who'd allied for a short time to get to well, they allied. It was a very fluid period of alliance. Politics, of course, even then being a very cutthroat game. The alliance between Mark Antony and Octavian only really lasted as long as it was sort of convenient for them both, and it didn't stay convenient for them both for very long, because once they had defeated Cassius and Brutus, they could then turn on each other, which they duly did. And Mark Antony, of course, ended up going out with Cleopatra. I think going out is an odd term, but you know what I mean. Yeah, there you go. Bit of history lesson today. It's also, I always think it's amazing that in terms of history, we are actually closer in time to Cleopatra than Cleopatra is to the pyramids at Giza. So the famous Egyptian pyramids were actually longer ago. They were like 3,000 odd years before Cleopatra, and we, of course, are only roughly 2,000 years after her, which I just think is fascinating. I just think it's amazing. Random historical fact there. Anyway, there we are. That was Fact Hour with Farmer Ben. And now we're back to the game. Now, the counter-attackers are very dangerous on any bloody battle tournament. You may have noticed that if ever I take a purple team, I almost always put Rana in, because as a counter-attacker she is awesome. So I will probably lose this one. Counter-attackers are very difficult. I really need to get better at working out which of my heroes are debuffers, which is awful. On like Empires and Puzzles, I knew it like that. It was like, right, debuffer, debuffer, debuffer. Oh, they've got a counter-attacker, let's get my debuffers out. And on this game I'm like, debuffer, which one's that? Jim, do you debuff? Bob? Maku? I've never got any real idea. I know one of the 3 stars, I think, is debuffer, but I can't even remember which one that is. Anyway, there we are. That was a predictable defeat. 2 to go, same team, same problem really. They've got Rana and Flint, so they've got two counter-attackers, which is a fairly sort of clever, sort of sensible move on a bloody battle tournament. Can be quite tricky to get rid of debuffers, as I mentioned. The main thing for me would be to try and kill them before their special skill goes off. Sometimes happens to them, not always. I was actually at a boxing gym last night. Oh, she's a counter-attacker as well. It's outrageous, they're all counter-attackers. Well, I'm going to have to target one of the ones who hasn't got counter-attack up as a buff. And just hope, well, it's probably kill Rana. Oh no, Rana, she survived that. Yeah, I was at a boxing gym last night. I try and do a bit of boxing now and then, try and keep fit and what have you. And yeah, apparently they don't like it when you put nails in the boxing gloves. So I think somebody should have a little word with dead zombie chick and just say no, that's not how we play this here. Come on. Play fair, play by the rules. There, so yeah, I mean, obviously we managed to win that one. Quite well put together team, that, in a lot of ways. Like I said, counter-attackers can be quite effective especially on bloody battles. And there aren't that many debuffers in this game, to the best of my knowledge anyway. There are probably tons of them, I just can't think of them. Okay, and final attack. Now I'm going to take a counter-attack this time, so I've gone Rana. Yeah, like I say, good hero Rana. 2 yellows I would argue is a mistake, so Goldman and Leon is a mistake. In my opinion, if you're going to have a yellow tank and there's no restrictions, don't put any other yellow heroes on your team. But it's not going to matter, because literally there's not one purple tile on the board. That is rubbish. Literally not one. Count them. 0. Let's count them again. Still 0. There we are. I don't know how many tiles left the board then. Still 0. Still 0. It's like the worst board I've ever seen. That is hysterical. I mean, how many? That's 3 moves in and not a single purple tile. There's still not a one in the corner. Oh my goodness me. Well, that has to be the worst. In terms of colour stacking, that's literally the worst board I've ever seen, or could even imagine. I mean, look at it. This is like 5 turns in, and I've got 6 purple tiles. None of them anywhere near each other. I got a feeling the game's trying to tell me something here. That's just like, oh my gosh, that is awful. That is just terrible. That's just like the worst setup. I mean, well, yeah, I think, anybody who says, oh yeah, no, the game doesn't penalise players, it's totally fair. Okay, I think this board could perhaps be an example of why it isn't. Oh my goodness me. Oh well, there we are. Next battle day, I will use my 75 gems to continue. I'm clearly not destined for the top 1%, as is written in the rules, but I think that will have to go down as an infamous, an attack that will live in infamy. Definitely going on the comments and the video of that one. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. As ever, do please remember to like, share, comment and subscribe. Please remember to click the like button, click the bell button and all those sorts of things YouTube would do so love to tell everybody to do. And in the meantime, it just remains for me to say au revoir, goodbye, and may death come swiftly to your enemies.